So don't forget your shims. This one had these over here, and then it went like this. But these U's aren't going to stay in there, so they go in afterwards. So we're going to slide on our brand new unit. Like so. And then we got a couple lock washers. And a couple nuts. Now remember, this isn't a full restoration, so we're using the original stuff. There's some paint on there or some shit. I don't know. I'll flip that around and see if it's any better. It's not any better. Flip this around and see if it's any better. It's not any better. This is a big ass fucking 1.5. I don't have it, so we'll just go ahead and put this on and edit all that out and make it look easy. Now that's way too tight for what we want, so we're gonna have to come off a little bit on both of them so that there's some gimme room here. And then we're gonna put this one on and tighten it down just a tad. Slide these two in. We're gonna slide these two in. Like so. And then we're gonna tighten it down. So there's our lower. And then the upper we will put in, and then we have to do the whole, whoa, this needs to be tightened up. Gonna have to double check these ball joints. So we're gonna slide this up here. And we got a big ass bolt that goes in here. Sometimes this washer gets in the way. And this. And then this. Those are 22s. I'm going to leave this a little loose for now. Oh, I forgot to mention. It also comes tapped for grease fittings. The grease fittings are in the kit. We're going to put those in a bit. That way we can pump it full of grease once we get it installed. And they'll be well lubricated forever. Well, until they need more grease. So, we didn't do anything to the front hub. Like I said, it's not a restoration. It's kind of just a repair. So front hub's gonna go on like it normally does. But first we gotta get that big spring in there. And that's the part everybody hates. There's not really an easy way to do it, but we're gonna do it the way we do it. So let me get these, let me double check these real fast. Those look like a couple 13s. In the way, I could probably hang it right there for now. I think I can. Let me get a hanger. Just like that. So, don't forget your top cushion piece. This thing is going to spin a little bit until you get it all the way up there, and then it might get stuck. So you got to line up your spring to where it sits in like that, and you want it to sit down here in the bottom up against this lip. So kind of go like that, and then we're going to put it up in here like this. And there's not really a way to compress this unless you have a spring compressor, and I don't have one. So what we do is we're going to come in over here, and we're going to get the jack up underneath this thing a little bit, rotate that like that. It's so much easier when they're cut or performance. It's a fucking pain in the ass. I think my pin is holding it on. You can try coming in from the bottom, but then you have this whole problem of lining everything up. So it kind of hooks in there all the way back. And then we're gonna just do it the hard way, because that's the way we roll for now. Unless I had a spring compressor, then it wouldn't be so hard at all. Or cut it. Can't cut it on video though, because then the owner will find out. So I'm probably gonna have to take this off so I don't break it. Scratch everything I just said. I've changed my mind. Now we're going to do it the easy way. So this is an internal spring compressor. It goes inside the spring. So this is going to be our top. We're going to slide this in. You don't want to go all the way to the top because that's where it sits. And we have all of those things in there, parts we got to worry about. So we're going to set this up like so. this like this, but this is hitting on my side pieces. So we're gonna twist it. I'm gonna try it. So this is my front. I want this like this. And I want that like that. So I'm gonna do it like that. Do it just like that. It's compressed. We're lined up here. We're almost lined up there. We'll be able to snake it in a little bit. It should kind of flow over to where it belongs. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slowly, I should have a board under here. Let me get a piece of board. And I think there's enough space here to get our block back in. There we go. So we're gonna set our some bitch, of course it's in the way, but I can get around it. I did. Go. So our bottom is in, and then we're going to come over here and the top's not going to drop because of the angle of the dangle. There it goes. It's all kind of stiff. It's really stiff. It's really stiff. You might have a cure for that. If I come like this, and put this on, pull it out, like that. And then drop that down. Yeah, we're pretty close. Okay. So I want to get a little bit more action on that. First, let me get my nuts on and get them at least started before anything pops. I don't think we'll have any problems. See, you're in my way. Going from the back. Can't see. Can't see. My nuts are on. I think I can. I think I can. Now, I can can let my jack. Oh shit, what's going on here? Oh no, I'm still good. Move that. Okay. So now I can move my jack. This will stay in place. Well, it's going to shift. And then I can remove that spring compressor. Got it. Now we can stop dropping the brake caliper. Thank goodness it's a new hose. Stop dropping the brake caliper. That's getting edited out. We'll keep the first one. Okay. So now I just gotta lift this. And the whole thing drops out from the bottom. So now our spring is in, right? We're lined up down there, we're lined up there. We've got good springage going on. So our tie rod connection goes on next. It goes on the back of this. So if we flip this over, this thing, you know, kind of remember how you took it off? It's this bolt. These bolts back here have a side of them that's cut in order to go on. So it's kind of a pain in the ass, but we're gonna have to get them through. This out. Oh, I can see it right there. Good. So in between the hub and the, there we go. With maybe something like an angle. Got it. So the bolt comes through here. It's got a shaved facing on it to hold it in. So I pulled it through with the pliers. Right? Whoop. And then I slip this over, then I got my nut started. So now we can tighten these up. And those are 17s. Sometimes it helps if you paid attention to how you took it off. Yeah, so here we are on the back side, and we gotta get this one tightened. So I know there's a lot going on. I got a jack underneath the rotor. I jack this up so I can get the shock in. This is the new VIX shock system over here. So this is going to mount to the bottom of the A-arm. So I got the shock up in the top. We're going to do that one first, and then we're going to tighten these up. I haven't seen a video on installation of this yet, so I'm just winging it. This seems like the right way to do it to me, but we'll see. Matt will comment later and tell me I did everything wrong, but that's okay too. Just horrible. So we are looking down on the shock tower down in here, and there's hoses in the way. That's what makes most of this difficult. I'm gonna try to drop that in there without screwing too much of this up. Of course, this fucking hose. You can't see, got it. I need that. I don't have any threads sticking out. I need more up on the shock and get it started. Oh shit. Close enough. Now, this stupid hose, 14mm long extension, drop it on top. And then we're going to take the Ugga Dugga. We're going to go like this. That's great. Grab my lock nut. Grab my lock nut. Got it. And then we just torque it a bit to lock it onto the top. There we go. So now I have this, and it gets bolted in right there. And I put my washer on, and then it looks like a 13 for sure. Oh, come on, the nut's in the way, seriously? Okay, so now I should be able to let this down, and it's going to be all locked into place, and the shock will hold it. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Perfect. Okay. So now, let me check rotation. Oh yeah, we're golden. Okay, good. On the old system, it was a pain in the ass to get it through because it hung up. So that's an improvement. Okay, so all of this is on. All of this is on. Can't put the sway bar on until we put the other side on, but I can do brake and I'm gonna wait on tie rods because I gotta move that around until the rest of it's done. So these are brand new brake pads, but you can see they're full of schmutz already because, you know, why not? So we're gonna clean them out a little bit. And these just slide in. There's a groove here. Can't see. Ouch. Where's my head? And so our pads are on. And take our brake caliper loose from our hanger, up underneath and over. Polish up the sliders again. Shiny metal is less sticky. That's my theory and I'm sticking to it. With silicone grease. Let me slide that on. Like that. Now my brakes are installed. Suspension's installed. So now I gotta put in my grease fittings and lube this up. So these things are really small, and that's my light. And so this little doodad is a 7mm. Handy dandy grease gun, which of course is probably going to be out of grease because why wouldn't it be? Every time you want to use it, it's out of grease. Okay, so brakes done, grease fitting installed, ball joints are greased, everything spins, everything articulates. I tightened this up. There's grease, of course, fucking grease. So, seriously, just tie rod, and this side tie rod, and sway bar, and then this side's done. So I'm gonna switch to the other side and get that started. No, I'm gonna switch to the other side and get it finished. So y'all take a break. When we come back, we'll do tie rod, sway bar, and then front suspension is complete. We have the front suspension back installed. So now it's time to put on the sway bar. And it is a pain in the ass, of course. Oh, great, that's loose. Well, could we found that now? Tighten that in a minute. So this is gonna have to go up in here, right? And this thing will twist a little bit to help you roll, but it's a wrestling match. So we're going up. You gotta kind of get the other side lined up and then push. This is gonna slip over all of it like that, but you can see that it doesn't fucking line up because it's a pain in the ass. Because, you know, Fiat. Hold on. So if I take this clamp, so this has a flat edge and a slanted edge, right? So flat, slanted. And then what we have to do is get this lined up and on here. And it's a pain in the pain. It's a pain. Let's just put it that way. Then we're gonna grab the Ugga Dugga. Now I gotta do the other side. Second verse, same as the first. Okay, so tie rods. So don't get them mixed up, but it's not really that big a deal. But what we want is the same length. Okay, so this is the new one. It's got a plastic cover. Take this off. Okay, and expose the boot. This is, if you put this on there, it's gonna crush. Okay, it's just plastic. Get it off. And then don't lose your brand new nut. So what we want to do is we want the same length. We'll get loosened. But I want this clamping part over this slot. That way when it squeezes, it squeezes. I mean, no matter what way you're on there, it's probably going to squeeze, but you know, let's squeeze it like that. So that's pretty close. So we're going to go in the car like that, but then we want this down like this, okay? Because otherwise it's going to interfere with the steering shit. So now we're just going to put these in the car and get the nuts started on top and then hammer them in with the fucking Ugga Dugga. And then I got to do the other one, but you got to do it from the motor side. This tie rod and this lower A-arm, if this thing's flipped the wrong way, it's going to hit this. Okay? So that's why we rotate it to the back. So now I got to do the other side, and then suspension installation will be done. So 1, 2, 3, third to the last thing, third, is the fender liner. Sorry. Fix it, don't worry. Okay. Then the last thing we have to do is take it to the alignment shop and get the front end aligned. So front suspension is done, installed, complete.